What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Just Todd Now show with your host, SaunTai. Hey, welcome aboard the Just Todd Now ship, where we combine our mind with our heart, see what our gut mind is saying, connect all those three circles, let whatever come out, just come on out. You know the deal. SaunTai is here to reveal this movie. Let me turn off the Ziggo. This movie, Concrete Cowboys, based off a novel by G. Neary called Ghetto Cowboy. I was like, yo, they probably changed the movie up in the marketing and stuff. It's going to get more people to watch. And I even tested this with my neighbors and had them interested more when the word concrete was in there. You know, concrete as opposed to the regular jungle. Those not in the know, that's the skyscraper in replace of a tree. And this take place in Philly, where I'm from. So this was a movie that was touching all the Thai senses, touching all the organs, not just the heart. You know how we Thai. So thank you for coming on by. This was starring Idris Elba. You see him right here, as well as the young boy. I forget his name, but he also played in the Hulu show Wu-Tang Clan, that my other friend from Philly, born and raised in Philly, was starring in playing the old dirty bastard. So salutes to the team. Salutes to the team. Philly have a lot of talent, a lot of untapped potential. And that's why I've really enjoyed this movie, because it was touching all those feelings on that actuality that a lot of people don't see possible. So it's about horses. Like most people say, horses in Philadelphia. How you get horses into Philly? How's that a thing? Unless it's like the white people and stuff downtown with the what is that? What they do? And it's a historic part in Philadelphia, so they do tours and stuff on horses and carriage and stuff, walking around downtown. Yeah, that was there and stuff, because it's supposed to be old school 1700s. But North Philadelphia, the urban projects. Where I grew up at, 23rd and Dolphin. In this movie, a lot of the scenes was up the street. It was like on 26th and Dolphin, around there. There's Chanel Felcher Street. I grew up right down the street. So when I say this is in my experience, it is fully in my experiences. Some of the people in the movie as well, I was found very awesome that they allowed them to do that. Was born and raised in Philadelphia, taking care of the horses. And then they got an acting gig and was in the movie, playing practically themselves. But I like how they developed the story to come up with a timeline for us to follow, because the timeline was really realistic. Like, the person who probably wrote the novel was right in the Philly streets too, right in those mean streets, where you got to choose between going to the streets and being a gangster, just like the other OGs, or you're gonna be like, or the horses, which seems so mind-boggling. But me walking around looking at the horses, I always was intrigued and saw a new possibility and hope in life and avenues that I can choose to go down than just go on the corner. And that's what the movie was shouting out. He was from Chicago. He was his mom and dad split up. They had the divorce the thing going on. Not even divorce thing. They just was never really together, and they just couldn't work it out. So then the mom sent him back to his dad, like, oh yeah, you gotta straighten him up. You need to be with his dad, the other partner that helped make him. He was there in the beginning, like, come on. So he just dropped her off back in Philly. And I like that they filmed the scenes in Philadelphia. Not too many movies are filmed in Philadelphia. And when you see a movie filmed in Philadelphia, I tapped the mic, let me check this out. When you see a movie filmed in Philadelphia, just make sure the mic is alright. There it is. In Philadelphia, it's always about violence, like just the violence part. And if there's like becoming the best drug dealer or something like that, or some crime or something, it's not really that good of vibes. So when this movie to be out is really changing the tides, so that people that as well live in Philadelphia can see what's going on and have a new mind state avenue to work off of or go off of. And that's what this movie was showing. The character, he ain't want to do the horses at first. He didn't do that. He ran into his friend that was still in Philly, never left. So he chose to go into the gang banging, and he was getting some nice shoes. Spoiler alerts. It was all around. And It was all around him, so that's what he was into. And so then when he come in here, he ain't really messed with his dad. His dad ain't really talked to him. His dad was in his own zone. He was owning up to him. He was an asshole and stuff. And so he didn't really have much connection with his son. And this is a story for millions of people in Philadelphia. My dad is like that too. I grew up, like I said, a single mother in Philadelphia, and she had to do what she had to do. I had grandmoms and other beings and stuff to help take care of me. But in the movie, Concrete Jungle, he sent to his dad to help set him straight. So in the movie, he was seeing how he wasn't making enough money. His dad didn't really have enough money. So he's like, why are you into this horse stuff? Like, come on, like, we gotta be out in the streets. But little did he know that his dad was already in the streets a long time ago. And this was him getting out of it. As well as a lot of people that were taking care of the horses, a lot of adults. They were on the streets in previous times. And then an event changed them up so that now they were on the horses, having something different to do, taking care, feeding, brushing, exercising them, like running them around. It's a whole lifestyle as opposed to like having a dog or a cat. So it makes you more responsible for something. More responsible for something that's alive. So that's how it, more responsible for things that's alive. So that's what the horses was bringing to the people in the urban environment. And this is pretty cool because it was something that was supposed to never happen. Like I says, the projects is something that was built. I grew up in Raymond Rosen projects. So Raymond Rosen projects used to be high rises about 30 years ago. And then before that, it was a graveyard, a whole graveyard. So most of the land was cheap. And these rich people had a good idea, not good or bad. Let's get an idea to help develop land and help people in poverty. But, you know, a project is called a project, and there's most people that never even want to go to a project. My grandma that was from Virginia was way iffy about coming to our house in the projects. And I used to grow up going to her house every summer just to, like, escape. Like, my mom wanted me to have a different life than being just in the projects. So I had some different forms of getting out there. And that's what allowed my mind to continue to expand. But when you have no other things in your foresight, you don't have anything else to work off of. And the things that's in the foresight in the projects is drug dealing and violent gangbanging. Not just gangbanging like, yeah, group we family and stuff like that, but violent gangbanging, fighting over corners, fighting over crumbs. It's a big world out there. And people are literally fighting over crumbs. It brought me to this song by Jay-Z called The Evils. When he say, and this is the point of view that I see of people growing up in the projects and just the mind state you have. Look, I'll tell you afterwards. Dear God, I wonder, can you save me? Illuminati, want my mind, soul, and body. This shit is wicked on these mean streets. None of my friends speak. We all trying to win. But then again, maybe it's for the best though, because when they're saying too much, you know, they're trying to get you touched. Whoever said illegal was the easy way out. Couldn't understand the mechanics and the working of the underworld. Granted, 9 to 5 is how you survive. I ain't trying to survive. I'm trying to live it to the limit and love it a lot. Life ills, poison my body. I say fuck my skills. I never prayed to God. I prayed to God. And then ask forgiveness sins. In the other line I want to say was, we used to fight on blocks. We used to fight for building blocks. Now we fight for blocks with buildings that make a killing. The closest of friends when we first started, but grew apart as the money grew and soon grew black-hearted. Thinking about when we first learned to use rubbers. He never learned, so in turn I'm kidnapping his baby's mothers. My hand around the collar, feeding her cheese. She said taste the dollars was shitty, so I fed her 50s. So this is the mind state of when you in that jungle, when you in that concrete jungle. This is the vibe that you most likely running off of. Most likely the characters running off of. These vibes of fighting for the block, killing on the block. And that's what was happening in the movie. Like I said, spoilers, one of the people in the movie, I ain't gonna say which one, his friend was killed and they both woke up in the hospital, but his friend was dead. And they was fighting over the corner. And now he got into the horses. He said sometimes he feed the horse more than he feed himself because of the poverty thing still going on. But the dream still feeding itself. And now seeing what's going to come out. Because what's a cool thing about this movie is after it came out, the ranch was losing money. But after people seen the movie, as I was thinking while I was as I was watching the movie, put money together to keep them alive and keep it so that it's not just brought out and developed by another company, which was brought up in the movie too, the gentrification that's going on in Philadelphia, which is like bringing taking out a lot of the culture and replacing it with another culture, literally. So I'm glad that this movie of the concrete cowboys in Philadelphia was able to get out so that more people can know what's going on and that people that's in the city can realize the significance of it and take more advantage of it and put more kids on it. Maybe because of that, even adults, because it's lifestyles, there's money to be made in it. And when you see money to be made and stuff, that's when people start grasping onto things and a life that makes you happy as well. Because that's what the project mind has. And that's the people who made the projects is letting that all go about. It's heavily more policed in the projects, as well as the drug dealing and things are actually feeding families. So when this weird thing pop up, this psychedelic thing pop up, psychedelic just means mind opening, mind expanding pop up. It seemed kind of scary for most people to jump into because it's not what works. And we love scary things. The human mind loves scary things. To tie on that, that's why the streets seem so enticing. The running, the watching your back, the learning how to scale things up, how to bag things up, how to not trust certain people and do that. It's a whole game that gets your mind going, rampant on it. So I love that it's other things like horses that you can tap into, and what the movie was implying that you can tap into this horse of the vibe, and it's a whole community based around. There's gonna people say, "Oh, they wasting their time." You probably gonna think you're wasting your time, but that's how it is growing up in Philadelphia, and including for me, especially when growing up in single parent households where you're still learning along in a young parent household, a person that's real young, so you're still learning. And you just looking out of reality and seeing what's next. How can you survive and feel satisfied and happy? Like when he was doing the drug dealing thing, he was getting some fresh kicks and things like that. So it's things that come with the game. It's that knowing those that got out of the game after being in the game and hearing the majority of their stories compared to the majority of other people's stories that claim and they still in it. Like, it's the same game. Just different stories, different characters popping up. So that's what I really enjoyed, them showing the old school, talking to the new school, while showing the new school actually being involved in the experience. And then this boy that has the choice, because we all have a choice of what he decides he wants to do. Always know it comes down to choice. He still had a choice. In the movie, he wanted to leave his dad's house. He's like, I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna leave at nighttime. His dad's like, if you leave, you ain't coming back. And some people, they go out, make that choice, sleeping on other people's couches the rest of their life. Other people, they say, all right, I'm gonna shape up, listen to what's going on. And that's what psychedelics really helped me do. It's a movie review. I'm just tying on magic mushrooms, psilocybin containing mushrooms, and microdosing and experiences they had me, so that I would not get caught up. Because after things was failing, a lot of things wasn't working. Cops seeming like they was on your side, but not your side by shooting your friends and things like that. Then, that's when the temptation come up to go to the streets and the depression. But reconciling the depression. Like, a bunch of people in Philadelphia are desensitized to a lot of feelings in order to survive. In order to feel like they're surviving or feel like they can still do something good, they have to be desensitized to a lot of gears that's going on with themselves, behind the scenes, in the scenes. It's behind the scenes, but it's still in the scenes. People say the subconscious. I be like, subconscious ain't so sub. It's on that level. Like an earthquake, sometimes just bring it up to the surface, and that's what psychedelics does. Psychedelics for people will bring up past traumas and past things that's going on. That's why I love and appreciate the Thai community and how we tie on things, let whatever come on out. Because with these Thai, it's not just about taking the psychedelic and achieving all your goals and everything's going to be all planned out and simple. things pop up, traumas pop up, experiences pop up that wasn't dealt with in the way that you would probably deal with it, but the way that our environment, like I said, the projects, the urban concrete jungle environment, concrete cowboy environment too that they're in, is not made for you to deal with what's going on, but to keep on moving, because a lot of people felt what you felt too. But the way that they got over it was by going to the streets, or by being angry a certain way, or reacting to situations in a certain manner that doesn't allow the full emotional spectrum to be realized in themselves, but something that's very comfortable. What can be said off the tip of my tongue real fast that sounds fancy, like "fuck out of here, you nut ass nigga, man, you clown ass young boy," like da, da, da. Like all the things that can come off real fast. You fucking nigga, like you ain't never gonna be nothing. Like on both sides, all sides, all around. So when the veil is revealed, you start to see how people are caught up in the youth, and even still as adults, and caught up in their own mind state, as if somebody is just playing with Pokemon cards all their life and don't know it's Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Dragon Ball Z cards, baseball cards, football cards, and they're all valuable. It's like, oh, I grew up with Pokemon, I'm all about the Pokemon, and that's all I'm gonna ever be about is the Pokemon. It's honorable, but there's more things out there. It's honorable to you, but a G, but you missing out on so much. And like they was pointing out in the movie, most gangsters, most gangsters die. That most violent gangsters die. That's trying to fight for a corner. But this horse aspect, because the presence of the horse is tall. They got the long legs. They it's what actually people was connected to before cars. Now that I'm tying on that reality, and so it's like a pet, but it's also something that's allows you to live life and live affection and life that most people not in tune with, because I said a lot of people are desensitized in Philadelphia. So to care for an animal on this level seems magnificently dumb, or to a lot of people in Philadelphia. Like, why are you wasting your time doing this? You gotta get this money quick. You gotta do this so that you can live out your dream. Like some people doing that because they don't want to stay there forever. They got dreams of doing it and then working it out and flipping till they out. But most of the time getting in there, now everybody make it out. So it's other ways to do things. And that's what the Concrete Cowboys was showing. Is that what it's called? Concrete Cowboys or Concrete? Yeah, I keep about to say Concrete Jungle. That's what it is. And this was so cool pictures. Hear them practicing and stuff like this. Like I said, I used to be all around here. So it's funny that Ibris now visited the hood. Here goes some pictures of when, and actually in the news a long time ago. Like you can see all the cars and everything, then you see a horse. But imagine the mental state of the person riding the horse, how much they're conquered to get to that point. Or if they was raised in it, what they're not going to get caught up into because of what they're into. Most people see in the hood, they try to get with people that's bored kids, bored youth, because they have so much possibility. And the easiest thing that's talking to them is the streets most of the time, because you're coming from a broken childhood. I'm a broken family, a family that's not together. So you're searching for a family. You're searching for somebody, a group of people that seem to be cohesive, that seem to communicate similar ideas and possibilities and actually trying to make it happen. Those things are always searched for in broken families. So, because everybody wants a home. And that was a trope that was in the Concrete Jungle too. Trying to, what is your home? What does that mean to you? Not going into details of how they was plotting that out, but they brought that up in the movie as well. Just going down the list, checking out some artwork. Oh, this is on Ridge Avenue. Huh. Yeah, yeah. Just seeing it, looking at the picture, seeing this familiar. Street is this? Dover Street. So yeah, That's the horse gang. My daughter is into horses now. I live over here in Northern California right now. Like I said, I'm from Chico. I just moved here 4 years ago. And my daughter, I got her into horse riding since she was like 4 years old, somewhere around there. I'm with all of the horse stuff. The horses are also magnificent. So that's my movie review for the Concrete Jungle. If y'all have any movies you wish for SaunTai to review, let us know in the comments below. It's been a magnificent experience. So just tie now, combine your mind with your heart, see what your gut mind is saying, connect all those 3 circles, let whatever come on out. If y'all can do a huge plus favor and check out the www.justtinow.com website, where you find the Tai Adventures of Tussle Bay PDF, as well as the podcast where we talk with people live all around the world that has some magnificent ideas. The Just Tai Now ship, the sync is real, the Tai VR, Just Tai Gaming, the Just Tai Laugh Now show, Timation Studios, all of that coming to all the virtual spaces. We are doing it all, and if you wish to be a part, email me at justtine@justtinow.com. I love and really appreciate everything that we eye on. Like I said, if you got any more movies I want me to review, let me know. Adios. I always.